the potato and chicken recipe that surprised everyone. I add 700 grams of potatoes, 1 teaspoon of salt, and pour hot water until the potatoes are completely covered. Now I let them cook for about 10 to 15 minutes, until they are nice and tender. Meanwhile, I prepare the chicken. I cut 2 chicken breast fillets into small pieces. This way, they will be thin and easy to brown. I've already cut the chicken breasts. Now I set them aside for a moment. In a pan with a little olive oil, I add 1 chopped red onion and sauté it until it becomes translucent. I stir it lightly and push it to one side of the pan. Now I add the chopped chicken and let it brown nicely. I cook it over medium-high heat so it seals properly. Now I add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and half a teaspoon of garlic powder to enhance the flavor. I mix everything well and let the chicken brown completely. Now I add 1 chopped red bell pepper and 1 green bell pepper cut into small pieces. I mix everything well and let them cook together, so the peppers release their juice and add more flavor to the chicken. Now that everything is well sautéed, I add 1 tablespoon of tomato paste to give it a special touch. I mix well and let it blend and heat with the filling. I cook it for 1 more minute to intensify the flavors. Meanwhile, the potatoes are cooked and ready. I turn off the heat and drain them. Once well drained, I transfer them to a bowl. Now I season them with a pinch of salt, a pinch of black pepper, and add about 1/4 cup of milk. This helps make the mashed potatoes creamier and easier to shape. Now I mash the potatoes well until I get a smooth and even texture. Now I add 60 grams of shredded mozzarella cheese. I mix well so that it melts and blends into the mash. Now I rub my hands with a little olive oil. To make shaping easier, I take a portion of the mixture with a spoon. I form a nice, even ball. This will make them easier to fill later. I place the ball on a greased baking tray. I repeat the process until all portions are formed. They should all be of a similar size, so they bake evenly. Now, using a glass, I gently press the center of each ball, creating a hollow space to place the filling later. I do this carefully to make sure they are well formed. Now I place them in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. This allows the potatoes to bake and form a light golden crust. Now they are ready, firm, and well structured. I fill each hollow space with a generous amount of the filling. You can also make this recipe with ground beef. It turns out delicious and very juicy. I sprinkle shredded mozzarella cheese on top so it gratinates well. The more cheese, the better. The amount depends on your preference, so you can adjust it as you like. Now I put them back in the oven for 10 minutes, just so the cheese melts. The heat will make everything even creamier and more delicious. After this time, the cheese is fully melted and gratinated. It looks amazing and super appetizing. To add more flavor and color, I sprinkle chopped cilantro and green onions on top. It gives a fresh and delicious touch. Look at this delight! A baked stuffed potato cake, absolutely irresistible.